So that means that April 28th of last year of 2025, we're coming up on that year date here, just 3 or 4 months away. And so if you have any suspicion that you might have some damage from a hailstorm, specifically if you're on that west side of Manhattan, for sure give us a call. We do free inspections. We can come out and take a look at that. Because once you get past that 1 year date of loss, you can't turn in a claim for that anymore, and the damages are there, and that can be a real big issue, especially if you're looking at selling a home in the future. Every insurance company is different too in terms of how they approach that. I would say the majority of companies give you 1 year. There are a few companies that give you 2 years, which is great because it gives us a little bit of flexibility in terms of when we can get that done. There are some that give you 6 months. We ran into that a couple times last year. Thankfully, we were able to reach out to those insurance providers and ask for extensions for another 6 months, because the reality is when you get a storm like that, as big and as widespread as it was, it's pretty difficult to get all the work done in 6 months. And so we do prioritize those 6 months ones as much as we can, and then focus on the year ones, and then try to focus on the 2 year ones after that, just depending on what our workload looks like. But so the big thing right now would be if you have an insurance company that only gives you 1 year from date of loss, you only got about 4 months left to turn in a claim on that.
Mm-hmm. And if there is a case of you also need to get the work completed in that amount of time too. I mean, we have people in our queue that have submitted a claim that are maybe waiting on some process of the insurance to get completed before we can schedule work to be done. So what would be your message to those people?
Yeah, I mean, insurance can take a while sometimes, and so it's important not to wait to the last month to turn in a claim. It could take an adjuster 2 to 4 weeks to get out to take a look at your property. Sometimes it only takes them a day or two to get out there, but I think the big thing is just getting that claim started. And even before that, having us take a look at the roof and say, hey, you do have damage, it's worth a claim. No, you don't have damage, you don't need to turn in a claim. We're pretty honest about our evaluations. As much as I'd love to turn in claims on every single roof on the west side of Manhattan, the truth is that they don't all have damage. And so...
and we also don't want our clients to get penalized for...
Correct.
Submitting claims that aren't warranted.
Yeah, so an unprocessed claim can have a negative effect on you. For some companies, you kind of have a free claim pass, if you will, where it doesn't affect you. But I've heard of companies that raise insurance rates if you turn in a claim, regardless of if it's paid out or unprocessed. And so once you have that claim mark on your record, then that can be a negative thing. The other thing too is there are some insurance companies that give a no claim discount. And so we don't want you to turn in a claim if you have that, if you really don't need to turn in a claim, because we don't want you to miss out on those savings that you have from that claim discount. So the other side of this I do want to mention too, one, the insurance world is changing drastically. And so even if you have a 7, 10, 15-year-old roof, and you think it's in good condition, it's not leaking, that all may be true. But insurance world is changing pretty quickly. Deductibles are going up, premiums are going up. And so more of the cost of a project is now being assigned to the homeowner as opposed to the insurance company. Gone are the days where we used to have $500 deductibles or $1,000 deductibles. A lot of times companies are typically switching to 1% of the home value, or 0.5% or 2%, or a flat rate of $5,000. It's important to, and a lot of companies, if you have a newer roof, your premiums are less. And so if you have the opportunity to tie a storm to a new roof replacement, it's a great time to do that, maybe help lower your insurance premiums. And so that's one thing to think about.